My name is Mike, and I've called this quiet Denver suburb home for 12 years with my wife, Sarah. We're both in our mid-40s, no kids, just a peaceful life until last month shook everything up. That's when our neighbor Tom told us his 13-year-old daughter Lily had vanished. It hit hard. The police swarmed, news crews camped out, and flyers with her smiling face covered every pole. Sarah and I felt sick about it. We baked pies, mowed their lawn, did whatever we could for Tom and his wife, Ellen. As weeks dragged on with no sign of Lily, we assumed they braced for the worst. Maybe she'd run off, or something tragic happened. We never dared ask if they'd found her body. It seemed too raw. Tom and Ellen changed fast. Ellen turned ghostly quiet, barely leaving the house, while Tom got jumpy, always fidgeting with his hands and avoiding eye contact. Understandable grief, we thought. They'd still wave hello, but the spark was gone from their eyes. Then, 2 weeks ago, it got strange. I was fixing the fence when Tom shuffled over, sweat beading on his forehead despite the cool air. "Mike, can I borrow your shovel? Got some yard work." I nodded, grabbed my sturdy one from the garage, and handed it over. "No problem, Tom. Return it whenever." He snatched it, muttered thanks, and vanished behind his house. From my upstairs office window, I had a perfect view of his backyard. Tom was out there, stabbing the ground near his shed, digging a wide hole. He struggled. He's 58, not as strong as he used to be. I considered helping, but his frantic glances around stopped me. He kept pausing, scanning neighbors' windows like he feared spies. That evening, Sarah and I ate dinner, but my mind wandered. Why dig alone? Around midnight, I heard faint scraping outside. Peeking through the blinds, I saw Tom under his porch light, shovel flying, the hole deeper now. Why at night? A chill ran down my spine. I watched until he went inside, then snuck out to the fence for a closer look. Moonlight lit the pit about 3 feet deep. At the bottom, something poked from the dirt. A tuft of brown hair, matted and dirty. My breath caught. Lily had brown hair. Was that her? Panic surged. Tom emerged then, lugging a plastic sheet. I darted back home, heart slamming. Had he hidden her all along? Buried her in his own yard? Morning came, and I checked again. The hole was filled, dirt smoothed over like it never existed. Tom's car was parked oddly in the street, not the driveway. Had he unearthed something and driven it away? My imagination ran wild. Maybe he'd moved the body, scared someone new. I kept it from Sarah. She'd freak. But Tom avoided me after that. No waves, no chats. A few days later, I spotted him in his shed, cleaning my shovel with harsh chemicals. Why? Dirt doesn't need bleach. Suspicion grew. I started peeking at his house more. One night, I heard thudding from his basement, like heavy dragging, then silence. Yesterday, it escalated. Home alone, I felt watched. Glancing out, I caught Tom at his window, staring right into mine. His face was pale, eyes locked like he was plotting. When he saw me notice, he jerked the curtain shut. Sarah came home and asked why I looked spooked. Nothing, I lied, but sleep evaded me. Tonight, the fear boiled over. Around 3 a.m., more digging sounds woke me. I crept to the window. Tom was out there again, flashlight bobbing, reopening the hole. He dropped another small, bloody shape into the pit, dripping into the pit and covered it quick, eyes scanning the dark. My heart raced, and I felt a surge of panic as I grabbed my phone and dialed 911, whispering, "My neighbor's suspicious. His daughter, Lily, went missing last month. He's digging at night, burying something. Please check." Cops arrived quick, lights off to stay discreet. 2 officers knocked on Tom's door while another talked to me. Tom answered, looking haggard, but let them in. Sarah woke up confused as I explained. We watched from our porch as flashlights swept his backyard. They started digging where I'd pointed. The shovel hit something soft. An officer gasped, shining his light down. We all leaned in. Brown hair emerged from the soil, then a small head, pale and lifeless. My spine iced over. Sarah clutched my arm, whispering, "Oh God, Lily?" The cops froze, one radioing for backup. Horror gripped us, the head of a kid, dirt-caked, eyes blank. But as they brushed more dirt away, it wasn't flesh. It was a doll. A creepy, life-sized one with Lily's brown hair, dressed in her favorite pink shirt from the missing posters. The face was painted to match her, eerie and realistic. Deeper, they uncovered a bundle. A dead rabbit, fur matted with fresh blood, throat slit, guts spilling out. The whole scene looked like a nightmare. Blood-soaked doll, tangled with the animal's corpse. Dirt, red, and wet. We all shivered. One cop gagged in the metallic smell. Tom stood there, handcuffed, face crumbling. "It's not what you think," he sobbed. My best friend claims he's a wizard and taught me this cool ritual. Grab a doll that resembles Lily, sacrifice an animal, and bury them together under the full moon. Sounds wild, right? He swore it'd bring her back, some dark magic to pull her home. Tears streamed down his cheeks. I know it's crazy, but I'd do anything. Lily's my world. I miss her so much. I'd sell my soul to see her again. The cops hauled him away for questioning, but no charges stuck. It was just a messed up ritual. No crime beyond animal cruelty. Ellen watched from the door, silent and broken. We don't know if that sorcery works, but I get Tom's desperation. Grief twists people. He'd grasp at shadows for one more hug. Now, I'm terrified at night. Last night, a knock came at 2 a.m. Sarah slept, but I peeked no one. In the morning, a pink ribbon, Lily's favorite color, lay on our porch. Tom's in custody, but I swear I hear faint digging again. What if it worked? What if something comes back? But not quite Lily?
My name is Diane, and I've lived in a snug ranch-style home in a quiet Denver, Colorado, neighborhood with my husband Henry for over 23 years. Our kids are grown, off building their own lives, so we savor retirement. Henry crafts model airplanes in the garage, and I linger on the front porch, reading thrillers or listening to true crime podcasts. Those dark tales keep me sharp. Though Henry jokes, they make me see suspects everywhere. Last fall, the dilapidated house next door finally got a tenant, and I was glad. No more staring at broken shutters and dead grass. The new neighbor was a young man in his mid-20s named Lucas. He rolled up in a sleek gray SUV, dressed in sharp polos and sunglasses, hinting at a cushy job. Lucas was charming from the start. He brought over homemade cookies, introducing himself as a freelance video editor for online influencers. Henry and I liked him right away. He swapped stories with Henry about motorcycles, Henry's passion, and tossed around tech lingo about streaming platforms. Lucas mentioned being single, fresh off a toxic relationship, but seemed eager to start anew. For months, everything was fine. Lucas waved from his driveway when he saw me outside, and I'd wave back. He'd adopted a scrappy beagle named Max, and they were inseparable, jogging together at dawn. I'd slip Max biscuits, and Lucas would flash a grin. Then I noticed a woman visiting his place. She was in her 20s, with jet black hair, driving a scratched-up red coupe that didn't match his polish. She'd come once a week, always with Lucas at first. They'd toss a frisbee for Max in the yard, laughing like a couple. I figured she was his girlfriend, sharing responsibility for their dog. One crisp morning, I saw them arrive together, Lucas driving, her beside him, Max tapping in the back. They looked content, carrying dog treats. But soon, trouble brewed. I was clipping roses when shouts exploded from his driveway. They stood toe-to-toe, her voice piercing. "You can't just cut me out." Lucas stayed steady, saying, "It's over. You're too controlling." She grabbed his jacket, nearly swinging at him. Max barked frantically. Caught in the chaos, she screamed, "You'll pay for this," before slamming her car door and roaring away. Lucas calmed Max, unaware I'd seen it all. Couples argue, I thought, but my heart raced. Henry brushed it off. "Stay out of it, Diane," he said. "They'll figure it out." But her visits changed. She came alone, for times a week, when Lucas was out. Her car parked down the street, like she was sneaking. Once, through his open blinds, I saw her inside, not cleaning, but digging through drawers, ignoring Max's whines. My crime podcasts sparked grim ideas. Was she stealing, or planning something worse? I stayed quiet, but dread festered. Then came a night of horror. Henry and I woke to barking and shattering glass. We rushed to the window. Lucas's house glowed with police lights. An ambulance skewed in the drive. Neighbors huddled, whispering. Cops hauled the woman out in cuffs, her face blank, hands stained red. Lucas staggered out on a stretcher, knee smashed, side bleeding. Face ashen, Max was gone. I clutched Henry, breathless. Lucas was in the hospital for days. When he returned, limping on crutches, we brought chili. He let us in, eyes hollow. "Have a seat," he said, voice cracking, and unleashed the terror. Her name was Lauren, and she'd confessed everything. They dated briefly, adopting Max together. But she was unhinged. She'd stolen his key during a dog park visit, copying it secretly. Her solo trips, she planted microcameras in his lamps, bookshelf, even Max's collar. She'd hacked his phone to track him, streaming his life on her laptop. It began with park strolls and shared pet care, but Lauren demanded more. Designer bags, trips, even cash for Max's needs. When Lucas pushed back, she grew possessive. The fight I'd witnessed was him ending it after missing money. She lied, but the cameras caught her theft. That night, she broke in with a crowbar to talk. When Lucas heard Max's yelps and grabbed his phone, she bashed his knee and stabbed his side. Even worse, she crammed Max into the washing machine and yelled, "If you leave, I'll hit the start button." She'd drown Max if he broke up. Lucas fought back, screaming until neighbors called 911. Police found Max shivering inside, machine off. Doctors said Lucas barely survived. Henry and I sat stunned as Lucas showed police photos of the cameras. Hidden lenses everywhere. Lauren had footage of him sleeping, working, petting Max. She'd texted friends, bragging she controlled him. Lucas trembled. She seemed kind, but she was a monster. Said I'd never escape her. He called police, ensuring charges, assault, stalking, animal cruelty. They'd lock her away. He moved out soon after, saying the house felt tainted. And Lauren's friends knew his address. We haven't seen him or Max since. I pray they're safe. Our street feels cursed now. I sit on the porch, but I eye every car, bolt doors early. Henry says my novels make me jumpy, but I know better. Darkness hides close. A mysterious package arrived at Lucas's old place, a dog leash with claw marks. Is it a prank or Lauren reaching out? I burned it, but at night, I hear faint barks, like Max trapped somewhere, or something worse, waiting to come for us.
In a quiet Tampa, Florida suburb, Anna and her boyfriend Jake rented a snug one-story home. The house sat on a peaceful street, perfect for their hopes of a future together. Across the street, a thicket of mangroves hid another canal, veiling their front yard from passers-by. But the backyard lay open to a single house behind them, its upstairs window staring over the fence like a cold, unblinking eye. That window soon turned their home into a place of dread. It was late summer, and Anna and Jake were deep in yard work, pulling weeds, raking palm fronds under the humid sun. Anna noticed two figures at the neighbor's upstairs window every time they stepped outside. A man and woman, middle-aged, staring down. Their eyes locked onto Anna and Jake, unwavering, even when Anna glanced up. It wasn't a friendly peek. It felt like they were peeling away their secrets, faces empty, yet heavy with menace. Jake tried to laugh it off, muttering, "Just nosy neighbors," but his clenched fists showed his unease. They pressed on, ignoring the stares, but those eyes made their hearts race. The frowns kept piling up, forcing them back outside, but the figures never stopped watching. One foggy dusk, as Jake chopped at overgrown vines, Anna spotted them again, their faces pale as ghosts in the haze. She nudged Jake. "They're back," she whispered, voice tight. He waved, forcing a smile to break the eerie vibe. The pair didn't budge, their eyes like dark pits. "This is messed up, Anna," Jake said, his voice low and shaky. They ditched the yard, pulses pounding, and hid inside. Anna suggested, "We should meet them, figure out what's going on." Jake hesitated but nodded, hoping a talk might end the watching. They walked around the block to the house, a sagging two-story with peeling paint and a stale, heavy air. Anna knocked, expecting one of the window figures. The door cracked open, showing half the face of a young man, about 25, with a twitchy glare. The house inside was pitch dark, air thick with damp rot. "What do you want?" he snapped. Anna smiled, introducing themselves, but he cut her off. "I live alone. Get out of here." Jake asked about the couple at the window, wondering if they were relatives. "No couple," the man hissed, eyes darting. Anna's stomach knotted. They mumbled goodbyes and left, but as they walked away, Anna glanced back. His half-face still watched through the door, unblinking, until they turned the corner. Back home, Anna checked their bedroom window, facing the house over the fence. The man and woman stood there, staring straight at her, their gaze cutting through the twilight. She slammed the curtains shut, heart hammering, and told Jake. They planned to plant a tall hedge to block the view, but summer's end ruled it out. They'd face fall and winter under those piercing eyes. Days passed without yard work. They kept the bedroom blinds sealed, avoiding the backyard. Then, one stormy night, a loud banging jolted them awake. Jake crept downstairs, leaving Anna trembling in bed. It wasn't the front door. Something pounded the backyard glass slider, deliberate and heavy. The blinds hid the source, but the thuds carried menace. Jake froze, fear choking him. "Who's out there?" he whispered, voice breaking. No answer, just more banging. He flicked on the backyard floodlight, and the noise stopped dead. He didn't dare peek, terrified of what waited. "Probably a raccoon," he told Anna, but his shaking hands gave away the truth. They both knew it was from that house. A week passed without seeing the figures, and Anna hoped it was over. Then, a man in a suit arrived at the house behind them, holding a tablet. Anna thought he was visiting the young man. Curious, she waved him over, offering iced tea. He introduced himself as Ryan, a property agent inspecting the house for sale. "Who lives there?" Anna asked, mentioning the young man and the window couple. Ryan frowned. "That house has been empty for 6 months. Last tenant left in April. It's been vacant since." Jake went pale. "But we saw people, 2 at the window, and a guy answered the door," Anna said. Ryan shook his head. "I check it monthly. It's sealed, no one's there." Jake's face drained. What had they seen for weeks? Those figures, always lurking, their eyes like blades. That night, screams tore through the air, raw, desperate, from the empty house. Anna cracked their window, and the cries sharpened, like someone trapped, clawing for freedom. Then silence fell, cold and wrong. They almost called the police, but froze. What could they report? Ghosts wailing? The next day, a package landed on their porch. No sender, just a blurry photo of their backyard, taken from that upstairs window, showing Jake raking. Scratched in jagged ink, "We're always watching." They called the police, who searched the house. It was empty, dust thick, but the upstairs room held a chilling find. 2 old mirrors propped by the window, reflecting the street, their surfaces etched with faint, twisted faces. Clean spots on the glass matched their positions. No trace of the young man. Now whispers drift from the house at night, joined by faint scratches. Shadows flicker at the window. 2, sometimes 3, blurred in the fog. Anna and Jake lock every door, but every creak sounds like footsteps, and each gust feels like a whisper, as if the mirrors, or something darker, are watching, waiting to step into their lives.